Well, welcome back to Atlanta, Echo Park Speedway. The site of, as we said in qualifying, some of our more interesting races ever in the NASCAR Chat Series when we were here earlier this year. 17 yellow flags, good chunk of single car incidents, but we finished with only 11 cars on the lead lap, so we would like to avoid that today. Hopefully have most of everybody still in this race by the time that it's over, at least if the settings changes have done what I wanted them to do. What might be the first career pole for Caleb. As we continue on with this busy summer stretch, we got another race coming up in 2 weeks at Indianapolis before we finally get a well-deserved month off from the NASCAR Chat Series. The 35 and the 28 will lead the field to green for 260 laps in the Quaker State 400 from Atlanta. From the outside pole, coming around to lead lap 1, the 28 of Gundy still looking for the first win. For the 28, or the 48 if you go back to last season in the NASCAR Chat Series. True pole sitter in Caleb slots in second in line. And now we just hope to make it through relatively incident-free in the early stages of the race here. That would be the goal. Now, one thing I did notice in the test, there's a lot of movement, and you know, no guarantees it translates over to our actual race today. A lot of movement throughout the field, not so much for the lead. So we do have 5 debris yellow flags for you to use, and just in case we went crazy like Atlanta's of the past, we do have unlimited fast repairs again, just on the off chance that a 60-lap test lied to me. Early 5-car breakaway at the front of the field. Sterling Marlin will break up that group as we race on lap 4. It's also way too early to be thinking about doing anything stupid aggressive. So 28 has led the first 4 laps of our race today. Stages today, 60 laps in the opening stage, the shortest stage of them all. Then we'll have 100 laps in stage 2, 100 laps in stage 3. Looks like Austin was thinking about making a move. Not so sure he's going to be able to. Getting a great run, but on this 1.5 mile drafting super speedway, if you will, you know, the links to the straightaways aren't great for not only getting a run, but also acting upon that run. Really need to be able to jump out with some help, especially to the outside, if the leader is not going to deviate from the bottom of the racetrack. 19 looking again, but the help perhaps too far back. Neither car up front really holding a line right there, and Austin's going to lose ground. Turn it over to last year's Quaker State 400 winner. Close finish with Squid. The 43 making its way up front. Two-time NASCAR Chat Series winner with that Daytona 500 win. first time we were ever out in this series. Late laps in, no incidents. That's the good news. Doesn't mean it's going to stay that way. Ash has actually held on pretty strong to that top 10 positioning, at least thus far, actually moving up another spot, at least for the moment, into 6th, with help from behind from TBNR cars. Another new look for the 46. This car was supposed to run. Oh, big slow up for the 43. I don't know what happened there. Maybe just a great run for the 46. I don't know. This car was supposed to run in the Coca-Cola 600 before the passing of Kyle Busch and the tribute scheme that followed that on this 46 car. Knew we were going to run it eventually, and I figured why not under the lights here in Atlanta, because this race will be run, I would say, probably at least half in the dark, as we're already, 35. Pushed up the racetrack a lot there, and Ash will continue to make moves up into 3rd place. In 3 spots just in the time we resumed in there. Yeah, and speaking of Evo, because he did qualify inside the top 10. In fact, I believe qualified 5th. He is back now to 24th place, dropping 18 places off the start. Now 19, I don't know. He's got big problems. I don't know. Getting out of the corner is a little bit challenging. Now dropping 21 places from the start of this race. But he's actually not alone. TJ, who was running with him for a little bit, is also back there a good ways. 33rd now. Back up at the front, Gundy continues to lead. Ash has moved into 2nd place. Since Gundy took the lead on lap 1. Oh, the 46 with a dive to the bottom. And that was something I was a little worried about. Were we going to be able to see those lead changes? Because I really didn't see a lot of them. So far, the answer, yes. And if you're gonna pass here today, that might be the way you need to do it. To the bottom of the racetrack, just like that. Great dive down on the 28. Even though the 28 fighting back on the outside, best that it can. But we've already seen it is tough. It's tough to pass up there. For one, you're not getting a bunch of help. And 2, obviously, it's a longer way around the racetrack. That would explain your driving a little bit. Ash does open the door up on the bottom. 28 too far back to make a move this time. Your 2nd leader of the race. Comes on lap 14. From the point here in Atlanta, we'll take a ride around the 46. Squid has joined the party up front. Just lost 2nd place to Frankie Muniz. And did the 28 just put themselves in the wall? Trying to get around the 1 car who had slowed up on a bad exit. Take a look, dropping like a rock. If the 28 did hit the wall, I certainly don't think there's any sustainable long-term damage. If anything, maybe just the scrape over there. It doesn't look bad at all. Challenge for the lead on Ash yet again, this time from Frankie Muniz, who has had a decent enough year, had a great run, finished 2nd back at the Nürburgring. Oh my goodness. Longer this run goes on, I don't know if it's A little bit more aggression than I would have anticipated, or what the case may be. Starting to see some cars really, really overdrive it in the corners, which we don't want to see. I mean, how about it? And how desperately does the 53 need a good finish? Of course, a long way to go here in Atlanta. But oh, what a poor season it has been. Just had to watch his new teammate in the 36 car win on debut at iRacing Super Speedway, when he's been fighting for that elusive first win for the better part of a year and a half now. Now, of course, a lot of cars are still in that spot. Some other ones that have been here from the very beginning that haven't won a race. Of course, we've talked about it with the 28. Your outside pole sitter led laps, but has dropped back. Just behind that, the 55 car of Jeff, he's been through everything as well without being able to win a race just yet. Not quite sure what just went on with the ticker there. That was really weird. Nobody's made a move on Ash yet until Squid trying to push the 36 around. Might have success doing it. Haley Deegan, the closest help to Ash. Is Deegan going to get there in time for Ash to keep the lead? And I think she might have just did, as those two get to work together again. Ash will hold the top spot for now. Toyota's at 32 and the 00 of Smeen, neither one having good seasons. They just had a great run on Ash, as Ash had jumped out to a pretty big lead, especially for a super speedway style race like this. Will they work together to get around the 46? Smeen drops back a little bit. That's going to leave the 32 all on his own. Bottom was open there if the 32 wanted it, but with no help, I don't really know if that's a smart move at this stage of the race. So everybody can regroup and try again. Plenty of movement up the leaderboard. Looking like your biggest gainer of the race is Red Wings, up 28 spots. Actually, just lost one. There's a three-way tie with Red Wings, Miss Airy. Yo Gamer just bumped up to 29 spots. But anyway, all those cars are about the same positions gained during the race. Dunny's lost 26 from the start. Sterling Marlin's lost 25. And Caleb, your pole sitter, is all the way at the back of this pack now. Wow, and he's going to be flirting with losing the draft a little bit. As Jeff has Nose to head for the lead. Ashman, no help on the bottom. The 32 gonna come back down. She should be able to hold that top spot for just a little while longer. At the line, though, El Jefe leads the lap. I don't know what's going on with our ticker today. Nothing good. Although, remember the last time I tried to do anything with updating the scoring pylon during the race? It caused a whole bunch of nonsense, but then again, the Nürburgring lap is like 10 minutes long, so... I don't know what that was. I don't like it. 32 and dollar sign. Still riding that middle lane, trying to get something working. He's got his teammate now up front with Jeff. 2 Tricon cars. And another Toyota, Travis Pastrana, in tight as well. One lap to halfway through this opening stage in just 15 minutes of racing. Jefe with another look. Looks like the help might be too far back, though. Although, I don't know. Here comes Pastrana. And the 55 will jump down in front of the 46. And we have our third lead change of the race. Which is good to see, man. Ash was the only one up, but I was talking to Ash last night. I'm like, I don't know about lead changes. I saw the same car lead for 60 laps. Well, we've had 3 different leaders in half of that time here in the race, so you can't always trust the test, which again is why everybody still has unlimited fast repairs, because we just can't trust Atlanta. So many cars throughout this field hungry for a win in a point system that means winning is going to bump you up into title contention. Just look at what it did for me. I was in the mid-20s in the points, and then out of nowhere, that win at Michigan bumped me up to like 12th or something. Now I'm chilling like 15th, but wins can mean so much to you this year. And the 32 gonna go to the outside. Ash is gonna take the lead back. 46 wants to stay out front, and for the moment, it will. So even though this is our second trip to Atlanta this year, El Jefe with a dive to the bottom. Getting racy up here at the front. Another good move there. Stack up. Game is unhappy. Maybe we survived. For the moment. Oh! That was a car on the wall. Joe Nemechek. After everybody was stacked up. Didn't smack it hard. And I mean, now we're everywhere. We got Travis Pastrana slow on the racetrack. Well, that changed a lot. Look at how spread out we are now. The sim said no. You're too close together. Well, this could be good for the 55. 32 just tried to use the apron. I don't know what we got going on here. I might call a yellow flag myself. The AI's acting really, really strange. After what was, I mean, essentially a competition yellow. After the sim did some weird things, we'll head back to green with the field all packed up, hoping to see a good restart and not a funky one, which could lead to, you know, we're having the least amount of incidents we've ever seen, knock on wood, at Echo Park ever. Let's hope some sim goofiness isn't going to change that. So let's see here. 19th on back came down for tires and fuel under the yellow flag. The pit window here is much longer than that. So, we'll see how long everybody else can stay out. I would imagine, especially with the help of the caution, they can probably make it to the end of the stage. But we shall see as we head back to green from Atlanta. Eva, what are we doing? What are we doing here? You and Ken Schrader. You know what, teammates? This is a bad team call. So bad that the 5 said I ain't doing it. What the fuck, guys? Well, I'll see. I guess we'll see if there's more that join them here in the coming laps. I mean, I don't understand that. Yeah, sure, I won't pit under the yellow flag. I'll go a lap down. I didn't even notice, but Pat joined them too. There was another taker that last time around. Very interesting decisions being made. Didn't see anybody drop to the bottom this time, but I didn't see anybody drop to the bottom last time. What in the world? So Evo and Ken Schrader 1 lap down. We're 3 wide. Oh, contact back there. There was a 36 and somebody. Might have even been either her teammate in the 53 or the 67 of Travis Pastrana. So where are those cars out on track? Pat's going to be all by himself. He actually came out ahead somehow of Evo and Ken Schrader. And the 2 teammates are going to look to pass the 3 car. I don't really understand what the logic behind this could be. TV and our cars going too? I don't know, guys. I don't know. It's a bizarre strategy after the yellow flag. We're going to have at least 4 cars a lap down. And it's not even because of any incidents. It's because of really poor strategy. Tell you what, after the restart, Ash, who gave up track position to come down the pit lane, has charged back up the field, already back into 2nd place. 87 of Joe Nemechek in behind. Nemechek going to stick with his Toyota Racing teammate. Nobody coming down this time. Remember, pit entry here, you have to ride the apron all the way through 3 and 4. I don't know why that's the rule for iRacing while under green. That really is more of just a on-track deal, I think. Or rather, an under caution thing. Hard to say. Ash just got left out to dry by the 4 of Oraman. Spring Atlanta winner Lucas now Third in line on the inside. Gonna give a push to Ash. Nemechek just, I don't know if he got loose, bumped up the racetrack or not. No stage breaks. But you have enough debris yellows to the point that if you want them, you can essentially call them yourselves. I only wanted to do that for iRacing Super Speedway because it was such an unknown. And then, of course, that backfired, and we abandoned that plan before the race was even over after everybody under yellow was getting space forced. So the 32 still holding on to that top spot. Ash with a dive to the bottom, but no help. Now the 10 gonna come back down to the bottom, and Ash is gonna complete the charge back up the field to take the lead here on lap 50. Might not last long. Whoa, the run for the 56 to come and help. The two Bass Pro cars getting together here to stay up front. It has been a bad year for Ash when it comes to stage results. Part of the reason the point standing situation is what it is. You can have a relatively mediocre season, but if you're finishing in the stage points routinely, you know, there's plenty of cars that haven't won a race that are still up there due to stage points. Stage win would certainly go a long way for the 46, and especially if this speed is to be maintained all the way through the rest of the race. This took 8 to go in this opening stage. Took a little bit longer than anticipated with the competition yellow. It's two Bass Pro cars fighting up top. We saw the 36 way out of shape at the back of the pack. That car's dropped like a rock. But you could argue the dominant car of this opening stage is back up front. Even after, you know, I was a little bit worried seeing that car come down pit road when not a lot of cars up front did. Here comes Dale Earnhardt Jr. with a run from hell to help the 10. But hey, so far, fresher tires, more fuel, it's worked out for Ash. Just a quick check-in while we have a second. TBNR Cars has now joined this group. Not a very organized group here at the back of the field. I think they're about, I know they're obviously a lap down, but they're probably about a lap and a half behind the leader as Evo's just trying to peace out, and, well, that's never going to work. Well, watch out here. 10 could be dangerous. The 56, for once, has joined. And we have a debris yellow. This might end the stage. Well, Evo's debris caution hasn't done him many favors. Gonna stay a lap down after opting to pit in the process of getting the free pass. So he goes from the first car 1 lap down to the last car 1 lap down. As we are about to take the green with 1 lap to go in stage number 2 here. Which is just, we had this at iRacing Super Speedway. We have it again here today. But with no stage breaks, it's not that big of a deal. It's your spring Atlanta winner, Lucas, up front. And now Ash, second on the outside. Both looking for valuable stage points. Lucas especially in trying to catch Haley Deegan in the points. And Deegan right now is outside of the stage points, so that would be a big gain for the 10 car. 1 to go in our opening stage of the Quaker State 400. Lucas brings us back to green. And a one-lap shootout to decide who gets those valuable stage points. And look at Aiden up front again. And score stage points for half the year. He's up here competing possibly for a stage win. Lucas coming back pretty good. Ash nosed out in front for now. Will there be enough time for Ash to make a run for the stage win? It does not appear so. At the line, Lucas is your stage 1 winner. As the ticker does some weird things. But there he is, Lucas, stage 1 winner. Yo Gamer bumps Ash in second. For second, Ash will finish third in the stage. Dale Jr., Aiden, Orderman, Red Wings, Tony Karan, Austin, and Jeff picking up stage points. Now 100 laps here in stage 2. Uh-oh. So what the hell happened here? Oh no, Smee. Oh no. Smee has struck again. From chase cam on Smee, he just comes right up. Oh, you know what? This wasn't Smee's fault. Smee is actually the victim here. The 55 got squirrely, and his teammate, the 32, got into him and then hooked Smee in the process. I don't know if this will be the greatest look at it. Squirrely there. Oh, well, and the 32 does also dive his teammate when the 55 gets out of shape. That's really what caused the 00 to go around. And then Travis Pastrana got caught up in this too. He takes a run to the outside. And then just it happens right in front of him. I think that was Pat who got his ass lifted up off the ground there. Well, you see, Evo, it is possible to use the free pass and not blow it, because your teammate Ken Schrader did. So Uncle Kenny back on the lead lap. 3 Chevrolets up at the front of the field. The Ford of Sterling Marlin. Pair of Toyotas in row 3. Tony Kanaan and Jordo. Miss Arian Orman, pair of Fords. And Kara, back in the top 10. Joe Nemechek. Gonna round it out as we are just 14 laps when we get back under green through stage 2. We're getting through our first yellow flag for an incident today. Somehow through all of that, I wound up in the lead. We were looking at replays during the pit stop, so I don't know what happened. There were a good chunk of cars that did come down pit lane, including Evo, TVNR cars, Pat, those cars that are left a lap down. But if you're not getting the free pass, I suppose you might as well. As we're back to green from Atlanta. Well, we're coming off a race at iRacing Super Speedway in which a rookie won with 36 of Kara. We've got a leader up front now. A rookie who, despite not winning a race yet, I think is still my favorite for Rookie of the Year. That's TJ in the 45. Especially if he adds on a win at some point this season, running the full season versus running half of it. I think you would have to give it to the 45. But we'll see how the rest of 2026 plays out. He's got his teammate in Caleb up front here too. He'll make a move to the inside on Sterling Marlin, get up into 3rd place. Strong showing for the Chevys right now at the top 3 spots. Tell you who has been up front and hasn't seen a lot of success that comes along with it. It is that 40 car of Sterling Marlin. It has really quietly had some great finishes this year. See if he's going to be able to finally put one together today. Oraman as well. We got all 3 of the, well, there's 4 rookies now. I forgot about Timo. 3 of the 4 rookies inside of... Well, actually, look at that. Look at that. We just got all 4 rookies inside the top 10. TJ leading. Kara 4th. Oraman 8th. Timo Quinton now bumps up to 8th. doing my part to help the Tigers sign Derek Skubal. I got Little Caesars. It's, you know, it's all we can do. Fill the pizza man's pockets. And where is he? I'm not talking about this pizza man. Brayton Laster, who's got some nose damage from that wreck, didn't repair it. It's an entirely different type of track from what I'm about to reference, but that damage looks a whole hell of a lot like what Will Power had last year at Michigan. That, oddly enough, I think helped him win that race. So now we've got rookies 1 and 2. Right before Jordo in the 43. The winner this time a year ago at this racetrack. Trying to get in the mix. I have a soft spot in my heart for Little Caesars. I do. I would go Little Caesars over Domino's any day. Any day. Have we been over that before? Domino's such a shitty pizza. Like, it's okay when you order it and you have it that day. But if you want pizza that you can put in the fridge and have the next day, don't get Domino's. At least in my local Domino's. It turns into a brick. Like, I kid you not. Like, every single time, the crust is just rock hard. Oh boy, or man! That was scary coming out of turn 2. We keep it all together. I know the 4 licked the wall, got everybody a little bit squirrely, but we stay green. Haven't seen a ton of that. Remember, situations like that right there are what made Atlanta such a nightmare the last time we were here. Guys would just overdrive the corner, get a run, take it, even if it meant running themselves into the wall. I can see that argument. Depends on the day. There are days where like if you get like a fresh Little Caesars pizza, oh yeah. We're in good shape there. Well, continuing on, hopefully staying green for a little while. 3 yellow flags, 1 for an incident. Between the 55, the 32, and the 00, so a Toyota nightmare. As we close in on 100 laps through this race. Far more long stints at the front than I think we've ever seen here at Atlanta. Oh, that was somebody way in the back, way up the racetrack. Really, again, and with so many different strategies out there, I believe, you know, it's hard to know who's possibly dealing with some tire wear, who's dealing with anything. In terms of pit laps, I see 57, 72. I guess there's really only 2 strategies out there right now. That last yellow flag, I think, helped out a good bit in that regard. And Schrader not really taking advantage of his lucky dog free pass quite yet. Still lingering in the back. I'm just glad to see, you know, we haven't had anybody drop out of this race. That last wreck was not all that bad. Nobody had to get towed from it. So we don't have even more cars, at least 1 lap down. The Sheets number 45 continues to lead at Atlanta as we inch closer towards sunset. given that growing up, we kind of lived in the middle of nowhere, like the nearest Little Caesars was like 30 minutes away, so getting it was quite rare. For me, it was more like a treat. It was more like a special occasion we get Little Caesars. I ever told the story about how our town had a Little Caesars. It was in this little strip mall. And then that franchise got in trouble because they were making their own sauce, so they lost the franchise. And then it turned into Spicy Bob's, which was essentially the same pizza that they always had. But I remember me and my best friend in 3rd grade, we loved Little Caesars Pizza Day. Wednesdays in elementary school. And we came back for 3rd or 4th grade, I don't remember. And saw that it was now Spicy Bob's Pizza Day. And we didn't know the situation. We didn't know what was going on. We were just terrified and said, hey, why the hell have you taken away our Little Caesars? Well, the same damn pizza that we always had. But then we got a true Little Caesars like 10 years later. R.I.P. Spicy Bob's. Well, would you look who's trying to do it again? Up here racing the 3rd place car is Pat. 1 lap down due to some poor pit strategy, pitting under green. Just goes to show that this car does have speed. It's driven all the way to the front. Too bad a track like Atlanta here is just not going to be a place where you're going to be able to zoom around everybody, unlap yourself, and take the lead in the same green flag stint. But then again, I didn't think it was going to happen at Charlotte either. And it did. I see some damage on the back of Timo Quinton as well. I believe I do. And oh yeah. Definitely. So I believe he was involved in that other wreck. I don't know how this car is doing well aerodynamically. But it is. It is. Long race. We're chilling. We've already seen just how crazy the moves can be. Look at even just the top 3. Timo Quinton up 28 places from the start. Lucas up 26. And I mean, with the field kind of spread out like this at the moment, I think it would be perhaps even better for passing than when we're all packed up together. A little bit more room to operate. Maybe a little bit less help, but get a run. More space to make a move. Safe to say it's officially golden hour here at Atlanta. It'll be dark before we know it. See if I was correct in saying that the D Kuzmic did not take the lead. Our ticker is just being weird again. I might reset it again during our next yellow. But see if I was correct in saying that half of this race will be run in the dark. Halfway lap 130. As we come around to complete lap 100, TJ gonna inch back ahead and retake the top spot. It's been a really weird day for the sim. My FPS has been bouncing all over the place. I don't know if it's really all that noticeable for you guys, but I don't know. My computer doesn't like something that's going on. But not to the point that we're having any major problems, so I guess it's not that big of a concern. But it does feel like every time now that we cross the start-finish line, we've got some weird going on. I don't remember if there was a distinct cause of that when we dealt with this at the Nürburgring, but let's see if it happens again this time around. Yes. Well, a little bit. I really don't know what it's doing. Okay, well that's incredibly distracting, so you guys can survive without a ticker here for a little bit. I'm sure shit just froze for you. It's fine. We're still running. Did that fix it? For the moment. Your spoon is optional. You know, it's been a minute since we checked in on Evos. The 45 does continue to lead. Oh boy! Oh no! As soon as we do! Yellow flag is out. The 24 caught a piece of that. What is it with switching the camera to Evo and things going wrong? Well, we'll see what Evo sees. Yeah, the 89 had to jump off. Okay, the 24 didn't really get it all that bad. Sad part for him is he is not the first car one lap down. And we've been green long enough to the point that I think we're going to see some pit stops. And one last onboard with Smee. See this whole... The outside lane checks up first, then the inside, and Smee just bulldozes the one car. Man, Toyotas are having a tough day. Well, the nightmare fuel is back. Hailie Deegan's back up front. Yay. Now, Lucas, a one-time race winner, and Hailie Deegan on the outside, a two-time race winner this year. And then me, of course, third. Winner at Michigan. Aiden, Dale Jr., Orman, D. Kuzmic, Tony Kanaan, Yo Gamer Daytona 500 winner. And Jeff, who's had a bit of an interesting day. That is your top 10 as we head back to green at Atlanta. 54 laps to go here in stage 2. A little over an hour into the race. Not making too bad of time here. So, that's good. Well, coming off that yellow flag, we were worried about it. Hailie Deegan is up to the top spot. Tell you what, if you get a late restart, being on that outside lane on the restart has worked out pretty darn well. Now, granted, when it comes to the debris yellows, the cutoff for this race, I put it 10 to go. So if you're in that spot and you're thinking about it, that would be a consideration, but just know that they're going to have 10 laps for you to get back at you. So they're going to hold it for the moment. Got Aiden in behind. Jeff got pushed out wide, but not going to hit anything. Here on lap 110. I feel like we've been in this sunset phase for far too long. I don't know if it's really getting any darker. I'm sure it is. But I guess it's tough when you're staring at it for now over an hour and we haven't really seen that much of a difference. But I'm sure it's darker, right? Don't have a Coke 600 run entirely in the daytime. New leader is the 5 car of Aiden. Was up front late in stage 1, looking for his first stage win. Was unable to get it. Blocked Haley Deegan down to the bottom. Plenty of cars up front that haven't had great years that could certainly start to turn their season around with a good performance here today. Aiden really, despite the lack of stage points in the first half of the year, even though the first half technically, I think, ends with this race. I guess the first third of the year, we'll say, is not really that bad off in points. Not as you'd expect. The finishes have been all right. But that stage result deal has just been bad up until recently. Now they've scored stage points in 3 straight races, but only in stage 1. That's the interesting part when it comes to the 5. Yeah, Evo's pit crew has struck again. Now he is the first car 1 lap down. You did just come down pit road. Is there a thought? We've already tried it once, and we've already used, what, 2 debris yellows here today? There it is. Well, you know what they say. You can't save those that don't want to be saved. And it is very clear that the 24 doesn't want to be saved here today. Oh, God, Evo has gotten the free pass now twice. And he is pitted before truly taking it when he doesn't have to 2 separate times. Well, under the yellow flag, another shakeup at the front of the field. The old gamer, Dale Earnhardt Jr. It's not a massive shakeup. Let's take a look. Pit laps for everybody. Well, I actually don't have any for the top. Let's see. The top 7, because we've reset live timing since then. But we are back to green in Atlanta. Daytona 500 winner Yo Gamer leads us back to green. add another to the poor strategy casualty list. It'll be a popular one, as Tony Kanaan will pit under green and lose at least one lap here. Bold call, Tony. Bold call. Perhaps just a gas and go as he's on his way. We've had enough yellow flags to the point that I don't know why anybody should have pitted under green at all. That's going to be really bad for Tony Kanaan unless some other cars come down the pit lane at this time too. Because he's going to be all on his own. From what I can see, nobody did. Battle for the lead, the rookie, the 47, Timo Quinton. Looking strong. He will not lead the lap. Lucas got him back. Fair enough. Tell you what, at various stages of this race, we have seen 3 of the 4 Tricon cars lead laps. 32 of Dollar Sign. He's faded into the back of the pack. Rather mid-pack right now. Jeff's been up front. And Yo Gamer, we just saw him lead a little bit. Somebody we haven't talked about at all today. John Force. Who is very quietly, much like Sterling Marlin, having a great year in the points. Force sitting 3rd right now. He's got a run as the 47 will get behind him. Got a little bit of a bobble in the corner. He's not going to be able to do anything with that this time around. And then just behind him, from a lap down to the top 10, make it the top 5, Ken Schrader. Great comeback for him after he was the victim of his own poor strategy a little bit earlier. It just goes to show you that it's possible. You just gotta not pit when you get the free pass. Just learn from Uncle Kenny here. New leader, El Jefe. While we were zoomed in on Ken, 55, back up to the point. In fact, maybe I lied when I said it at the time. 55, I'm not sure if he had led today, but, well, he has now. Ash has worked her way back up into the top 10. Closing in at about 30 laps to go in stage 2. For a 100-lap stage to decide our winner. It's been a bit of an odd race. More so the Sim's just having a rough day. I don't know if it's the Sim or live timing or what it is, but been a little bit of a weird one. We have no retirements. Even those four cars that are trapped a lap down right now, if you just do the right thing, you can get back in it. I know we just talked about this, but Ken Schrader's a pro. Follow him to the promised land. Oh, Nemechek way up the racetrack. I don't know if he hit the apron over there. Another car to the pit lane. Who's that? That is L.W. Wright. Is this for damage? He may have hit something here. I mean, that front end certainly looks like he's been into it. Now, granted, he's been involved in a wreck previously, so this might not be new. It might just be time for L.W. Wright to come down, so I don't think we need to worry about it too much. He will use the fast repair now, but he's, just like everyone else, certain to lose a lap. And now we've got ticker goofiness again. I really think it's live timing that's causing any of our issues today. Like, it's overworking itself, and then it's making everything lag. That was another car dropping down to the pit lane. That was... I can't tell. Well, me and Oraman. Well, I guess I at least have pitted with friends. A friend, but one friend's better than none. What in the hell is the strategy in this race? Why would you ever want to pit under green unless you had to? I really don't know if anybody at this stage has to. That's the crazy part. Timo Quinton continuing to lead. Force holding on to second. Sterling Marlin back up front again. Austin, who had faded back into the pack, he's now back inside the top 10. Just riding waves of momentum through this race. It feels like these cars will fade to the back. They'll be back there a while. Well, guess what? They're back up front now. I mean, even look at the 28. I mean, dropping like a rock right now, but outside pole sitter faded way back in the pack very early on. And now back up towards the back half of the top 10. Long stints in the lead today for multiple cars. I really don't think we're going to have a good clue as to who's going to lead the most laps in this race until it's all said and done and we're able to just check it. I really don't think that that's going to be something that we can look at or guesstimate on. 45 is up front for a good while. Ash, even those 5 bonus points for leading the most laps would be pretty good for Ash too. Probably going to need another stint in the lead though. But he's up front right now. Sterling Marlin moved to the outside. That's such a bad place to try and make a move. I might see in the back of the pack, I think maybe Aiden had some problems. Ash is going to get a run. The pack is catching the 11 of Tony Kanaan. And they will catch him by the end of this lap, no doubt about that. So let's see how everybody navigates. Oh, look at Force. That was, well, okay, good idea, poor in execution to dive down to the bottom and maybe use the 11 as a bit of a pick to drive around. He just didn't have the momentum to pull it off. All right, well, time to reset the ticker again because that is incredibly annoying. Sorry, every time I do that, the shit has to freeze and then it resets all our stats, but it's just going to continue to do it until we do something about it, so. 21 to go in stage number 2. Your leader is the, oh boy, it's still happening. That's even worse. That is even worse. Ah! Uh-oh. Have I broken it even more? Hopefully not. Hopefully, we settle this back down. Okay. Maybe we're fine. 47 trying to put Tony Kanaan 2 laps down. John Force will dart in. Take second spot away. And, oh, he tried. 47 was looking to make a move around Kanaan. I don't know if it's the right time to do it because he's got LW right in front of him. And these lapped cars certainly going to be a factor here. Ash had a run, couldn't go anywhere with it because Tony Kanaan was in the way. Oh, and look at this. The 47 makes it around the 34 of right. So back up to the true point. We got another car that pitted. I believe that's Oraman right in front here. Which means they'll be catching me here in no time. LW Wright looking to get one of his laps back. For the moment he does. He's got a run here on YoGamer. Oh my God! What an aggressive move from LW Wright to get back to one lap down. I don't know how advantageous that's gonna be, but hey. That's what you feel like you have to do. Lead change, John Force. These lapped cars have just wreaked havoc on this running order. Just a cycle of who's able to get a run, who's able to get around who's stuck behind who. 47 up the racetrack. Got one of those scary runs. Into second place is Austin of all people. Consistently fast, stayed out of trouble here today. Mostly clean race car, just a little bit of scuffing on that left front, but I think just about every car is going to have that here today. Now he'll set his sights on Force. And he'll have a run on John. Nowhere to take it. And didn't get as much of a run as I thought he might. Stage 2 winding down. Aggression is at an all-time high with these lapped cars in the way. They're just trying to fight to get around them. I don't know how smart that truly is, but that's what we've got going on. You would think LW Wright, Tony Kanaan, Oraman, and, well, now myself getting caught. You would think that we were racing for the lead here. Not the case, as we did just see sort of that fog flicker. Now we're in that awkward in-between stage as it is officially getting dark, where the cars seem to have this weird glow on them. Not from this cam, though. Oh, perhaps big news in the points race. Pitting under green is Haley Deegan. And she looks incredibly slow. Lucas has crashed, supposedly. Out of gas! Yellow flag has come out. Oh, no! Now, is he out of gas or did he hit something? He's out of gas. Oh, your stage 1 winner. You would think hovering over that would be okay to the point that it would be all right. No, you gotta click on him. And every time we get in this situation, I always forget that. So, drive-through penalty for the one car, given that he just got a free lap advantage on the field. So he will serve that as we come around on lap 155. Very, very short run to the end of stage 2. Just 7 laps to go. I don't know why there's no car on the outside, but this caution has been an absolute clusterfuck. I guess maybe that's where Squid should be. I don't know. So, this is also big because this is in the midst of the race for the stage here. Look at the 56! Lagging behind! Now the 56, I think, was one of the ones ran out of gas. Gonna be multiple laps down. You see YoGamer shot out of a cannon there? So we'll have our eyes on the one car as he is the leader. Well, it didn't come down this time. That's interesting. I'm not sure what his plan is. Let's see if he comes down this time. Really not in a spot where he can. Hopefully I didn't just black flag him twice. That would be the goal. He has moved to the bottom of the racetrack. You would think he'd be coming down this time. And he will. Okay. So in terms of getting cabin pressure back, this is the first step. Now, of course, this is a much bigger penalty here in Atlanta because you don't get to drive flat out through 3 and 4. So let's see what the case is. The front of the field on track right now. Jeff is clear and into the lead. Now let's see where the one car is going to come out here. Well, we may have screwed Squid a little bit. Hopefully, he's able to keep it up with the pack here. Although I'm not entirely sure. He won't lose a lap. He's back up on track right now. Oh, no. I have played a hand in the points race. That's not ideal. But coming around for 2 to go in the stage. Ash is up here again, but stuck in the middle. No friends. El Jefe, your leader. Sterling Marlin up in there with a fight for it, too. Ash with a run again. No friends on the inside. Had a strong third place finish in stage 1, too. We'll take the white flag in stage number 2. Marlin will move to the outside. Ash into second. And is there a move to be made for a stage win? Need to dive it to the bottom. She's not going to do it. Certainly appears like El Jefe will wrap up the stage 2 victory. And with the gap he's got here, he certainly will. Ash close again, but will finish second in this stage as El Jefe is your stage 2 winner here at Atlanta. And old boy Lucas, he just came down the pit lane. Stage 2 results are final. Jeff, Ash, Sterling Marlin, Gundy, John Force, Travis Pastrana, Missouri stage points for the 5th consecutive race. Timo Quinton, Austin, and Brayton Lester. what just happened? I got up to get a drink and Jeff is, 13th. Like, legitimately 13th. Sterling Marlin, I guess, is your new leader. God almighty. Well, the race has had more technical problems than really anything else. I got high CPU usage, which is something I haven't seen, so I don't know what the fuck's running on my computer. It shouldn't be. But I'm a little afraid to open Task Manager to try and fix it, so... realistically, the problems have been minimal. So, we'll just continue on. Your leader at the moment is John Force. 3 Fords pace the field. That's Lucas in danger of losing his 5th lap of the race. And I do think, in the interest of fairness, we certainly can't let Squid go a lap down. Squid is 21 seconds back. I will call a yellow flag for Squid because he does not deserve that. I screwed that up. It's our 3rd second caution of the day. Well, under 100 laps to go. On pace for the most cars to ever finish an Atlanta race on the lead lap. Currently 25 after Pat just got the free pass. John Force is your leader. Miss Airy, who has had a strong 4-week stretch. Some really good finishes in that stretch to be top 10 in points. On the outside, has a RFK Racing teammate down in 6th. And a whole bunch of hungry drivers. I mean, Force, Miss Airy, Marlin, Nemechek, Gundy, Austin, Timo Quinton, TJ, D. Kuzmic. The top 9 have never won a race before. But, as we keep saying, there's still a very long way to go. Cleaned up some stuff that didn't need to be running on the PC during the yellow flag. We'll see if that fixes, for 1, our ticker, and 2, our kind of bouncy frame rate deal. Hoping that it does. So far, so good. John Force, Miss Airy, couple of Fords lead us back to green. Yet again, not after the first caution, probably about our 8th, but only a couple for incident today. As we've really seen all day, outside on the restarts is the place to be as Miss Airy is taking the top spot away. She has been so close over these last few weeks. Had another chance at a win at iRacing Superspeedway, couldn't get it done. But good stage results, good finishes. A win, especially with how bad Deegan and Lucas are. I mean, they're the last two, our top 2 in points. Are the last 2 cars on track right now, both 4 laps down. So, really a possibility for a big point shakeup. And really what the rest of the field needed to see, because those cars were running away with everything. I think with all of the CPU nonsense and the iRacing live timing nonsense, the cars aren't dirty like they should be, which is a bit sad. I always like seeing how dirty the cars get throughout the course of the race, but regardless, We're running. Seem to be running a lot better. I think we're holding 60 FPS on a really regular basis now, so. You know what we can blame? Oddly enough, because I only closed 2 things during the yellow flag. Discord, which was running in the background, and Microsoft Teams, which is kind of inevitable. So fucking thanks, Discord. Move to the outside for the 19 car here on lap 181. He's got no help up top to try and get around the 17. Well, you can DM me now. You do whatever you want now. It's not running in the background anymore. I know I hate bringing up the overlay during a race, but... Oh, yeah. No high CPU usage for really the first time all race long. We get CPU warnings, packet loss, all sorts of bad shit. Gundy up the racetrack, gonna lose a couple spots, back down to 7. Sterling Marlin drops to the inside. Seen that move work time and time again today. Sterling Marlin looks for the top spot. Whoa, aggressive move up top for John Force. This area holding on strong for now with the help of Force. That's another RFK teammate. 3 of the 4 RFK cars are on that outside lane within the first 4 cars of the outside lane. This is a good, more Atlanta-esque battle than we've seen for much of the day. Good push from Miss Airy from Force. Is it enough? She's down and clear. 77 laps to go at Atlanta. And now that it seems that our issues are out of the way, maybe we can hopefully just have a good race to the end here. No ticker nonsense, no frame lag, no nothing. Wouldn't that be nice? So it's an RFK 1-2 for the moment. Not a lot of Chevy power inside the top 10, but Ash and Caleb are holding on strong. Not really making up any ground, despite the fact that Ash has made her way up the outside lane. Uh-oh. That could have been a problem, too. I just got a bazillion notifications for NVIDIA. So remind me to uninstall all the unessential NVIDIA shit later. You ever seen your notifications lag? That's not... Whole bunch of shit I don't care about either. Take lap 187. I see my car up here in the mix. Fucking stream deck notification. Were my notifications lagging because my CPU usage was so high? Up here in the mix with the leaders, but not a factor. Lap down in 26th place, first car lap down. Well, me. Pretty scheme. Sadly, I don't have any America Pop today. I do have a Ghost, though. Gotta rep the sponsor. Well, we know everybody in the field has at least one pit stop left. Possibly 2. Quite possibly 2. Gonna be hard to say. Because we really haven't seen, you know, a full fuel run all day. Between the debris yellows, a couple of competition yellows called by me, and our 2 incident yellows, or I guess 3 incident yellows. with those cars running out of gas a bit earlier in the race. And as this run does go along, I mean, that starts to become a concern because you saw just the sheer volume of cars that ran out of gas. That was terrifying. I mean, there were 5 or 6 of them. Gamer, Earnhardt, Deegan, Lucas, at least. Those last 4 on track, I know all of them ran out. Right now, it's just an alternating leader between Marlin and Miss Eric. Ash moved her way up to 6th. That car's been strong all day. 2 really good stage finishes. 3rd in stage 1. 2nd in stage 2. This is why we ran this car in this race. How pretty does that look under the lights? Now that we are finally in the dark here today. That's why when she suggested, oh, just run it at a different race, run it at Michigan, I was like, nah, this car needs to run at night. I think we made the right call. Frankie Muniz has joined the Ford dominance up front. Top 5 cars right now are Fords. Good omen for all of those that a Ford did win this race back in April, March, February, I don't know. A Ford won at Atlanta in 2026. Something we can't forget about Frankie Muniz. Even though Atlanta is a much different track from Daytona, Muniz won the duel at Daytona to make the NASCAR Chat Series field this year. Then oddly enough had the success at the Nürburgring, and not a whole lot since, but really hasn't had a lot of bad days. Closing in on the final 60 laps. While we have time, things are running smooth. Let's go and take a look at last pit lap. And we can't necessarily. So, not a huge number of cars. Last pitted on lap 174. Between lap 170 and 174. Everybody else pitted before that, but because I closed live timing, that did some weird things. So I don't know when they last pitted, but I know it was before that. So whenever the fuck I reset this last. Frankie Muniz is taking over the top spot. John Force into 2nd. Car in the wall back out of turn 2. Oraman, whose day has unraveled. I don't know if he was hitting the wall or what the case was. Let's go check out the 4 car. Oh no, he's fine. I don't even know if he scraped it. He was up there, though. And look, Evo, he found you. 24 cars since getting back on the lead lap, not making much progress. I'll check on the 3-car Pat as well, the most recent free pass recipient. And he really hasn't made up. He's made up possibly even less. 1 spot on Travis Pastrana since getting back on the lead lap. He was up out of shape coming out of turn 2 that time. Again, I think we're going to continue on just fine. Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the 8 car. 3rd in line on the bottom. Not a factor. Lap down. Deegan as well. Kanan as well. A lot of cars up front right now that, you know, had speed throughout the race, but made the poor decision to not come down pit road. I mean, I suppose in Deegan's defense, she did come down pit road, Just a little bit too late and couldn't actually make it to the pit stall. I mean, 4 laps down, there's only so much that's going to be able to change for Deegan and Lucas, wherever Lucas is at. I mean, quite literally, your top 2 in points. We could be shaping up for our biggest point shakeup of the year. You got to feel for the 10 car as well, because stage 1 winner was showing speed. Incredibly unfortunate for him. Tough to say. I don't think any of that counted. Yeah, I mean, all those ones that showed between lap 170, 174, they only show 1 pit stop throughout the race. But at the end of the race, I'd be able to know. Well, breaking up this Ford party at the front is your stage 2 winner, El Jefe. Running second in behind Muniz right now. Dale Jr. showing that car's speed. Before it did run out of gas, it at times was running up front throughout the course of this race. Inside, 60 laps to go. 55 out of shape, had to jump out of the throttle. That'll hold up Marlin on the outside. And let Dale Jr. clear into the second spot in behind Muniz. But for what? Oh, Dale Jr. nearly up in the wall. I don't know if he kissed it or not. As Muniz will pull away. But all these cars that are up front battling Muniz right now, they're a lap down. Deegan, Kanan, TB in our cars, LW Wright. What a bizarre day. You don't necessarily think about tires on the freshly repaved Atlanta surface, at least fresh as in a couple of years ago. But I mean, these cars would have fresher tires than just about anybody else. All those ones that pitted under our last yellow flag. But right now, they're just kind of holding everybody back from Tony Kanaan. Jeff, who is truly running second, is stuck behind about 4 or 5 cars here. And just boxed in. Good to see that maybe we are starting to head towards what might be a more legitimate fuel run. We kept seeing cars coming down the pit lane like 40 laps through a run and whatnot, and we're like, oh, we know they can run longer. So those lap 174 pitters, they've already surpassed that, which means everybody else has gone past that too. But what that also means is that pit stops are going to be inevitable here. Well, even though we fixed the frame shit, live timing's still being a little bit weird. Maybe that one's just an anomaly. We do have that happen throughout the course of a normal race. Wasn't the big shakeup that it has been. Let's see what it does this time around. Oh, see? Nothing. Good. $53 laps to go in the Quaker State 400, available at Walmart from Atlanta. fighting his way through all of the lap down cars. El Jefe back up front, and the race for the lead could be back on. Shortly before those inevitable pit stops, and now that we're at this stage of the race, I think everybody's next pit stop will be their last, or at least should be. Jeff opened up the bottom. I thought he might have had a car on his inside because he didn't go back down behind Muniz when he didn't have the run. Now the top two, nose to tail. John Force still stuck behind 3 lap cars. Brayton Laster, oddly enough, is up here in it. Now, did he ever fix that damage on the front? I'd assume he did by now. And he did. Remember, his nose was caved in earlier from the wreck on the back straightaway. Whoa! Force, Marlin, Miss Airy, pit stops are occurring. The window is here. Anybody coming down this time? I mean, the field's kind of spread out right now. It's a little bit tough to see who is and who isn't. Just have to rely on the event list right now. Evo has pitted, perhaps by himself, but much of the field should be coming down for fuel and tires here. So I don't know how big of a deal that is outside of pitting on your own. Deegan leads the pack. Muniz leads the race on lap 222. Yes, but you did at least have Pat with you. It was better than running by yourself. This is about to get quite interesting. Now, the top 3 are among the lap 174 pitters, of which there are a few. I don't know how much different the pit strategy is. With closing live timing during the race, I don't have that info. Down the back this time, I see D. Kuzmic diving it down. Travis Pastrana is pitted. Pat completing what should be his last pit stop. And a long stint out in front for Frankie Muniz. Could he, towards the end of this race, just wipe out what everybody else did throughout the race, lead the most laps here at the end? Certainly possible. Haven't really taken a look at the best lap thus far here today. 29.6s. I doubt anybody dropped it into the 28s. 29.66. 29.60. Joe Nemechek. 29.59 for Oraman. Whoa. All right, well, it's safe to say I think that might have been it. Some more pit stops occurring. Yo Gamer, Nemechek, Kara, TJ, Gundy, Red Wings, Ash. That last time by. And now Brayden Laster has gotten around. Obviously John Force because he came down the pit lane, but Jeff, who's still running. Laster in it with a chance. Been a poor season for the 06. First full-time season of NASCAR Chat Series competition. As we might be staring at just about everybody. TJ was one of the, or rather, Caleb was one of the last who hadn't come down the pit lane. He just did. So everybody that needed to pit has pitted. Now, what that means is a yellow flag right now would be really poorly timed, even if it meant that everybody would get waved around here. Because we know that the top 6 do have to pit at some point. And I mean, this isn't even, we're not even really staring at the top 6. Pat's going to be in some danger here, but at least as long as he hangs on to this pack, he could be all right in the end. Hell, who knows? Maybe it'll even help him in the long run. I don't know. Muniz remains your leader, but he's been bumped up to the high side. Got Jeff in tow now. If Jeff wants to make a move to the inside. Oh, he thought about it. But Deegan run it a little slower. So the 55 will stay true. And now the 33 will drop it back down. As we approach 30 to go from Atlanta. Now, one thing we do know for certain, everyone that hasn't come down the pit lane yet, these 6 cars leading the pack on the lead lap, they will have to pit again. They are not going to make it from lap 174 to lap 260. It's just not going to happen, especially after the yellow flags have cooled down in that time frame since then. But what we don't know is when that will be. Once that happens and everybody gets back on the lead lap, you wonder if a debris yellow might be used to tighten the field back up. Pat and Evo did find each other again, but now side by side, that's not going to help them out. That's going to open the door for Dale Earnhardt Jr. and company. Reel them back into the grasp of Frankie Muniz. Now, I guess what everyone else has to consider, everybody that did just come down pit road, how long do you let this go on with them not pitting? If you drive it down to 10 laps to go and you can't call a debris yellow, I mean, I certainly don't think they can make it to the end. But at what point does it become a little less risky, or a little worth the risk, I suppose, to call it, to get yourself back in it? I think for now, everybody's probably content waiting it out. And I mean, yeah, there is that too. I mean, do any of these cars that are out here right now run it out of gas? Our car is actually trying to unlap himself here. It's turned into a very bizarre late stages of this Atlanta race. Your leader is actually now El Jefe. El Jefe gets around, takes the lead back for the moment. TBNR Cars gets himself back in the lead lap for the time being. Muniz Is Muniz slowing? Dropping off the back of this pack here. He's certainly not acting like he's out of gas, and now he's coming back. There's still power there. Side by side for the lead. Haven't seen any moves to the pit lane just yet. Muniz back to the top spot. Brayton Laster now 4 seconds back with Ken Schrader, Smee, and Squid, you know. Feel bad. He didn't deserve to be in the spot that he's in. But right now, it's not looking all that bad. Especially if he's got enough to make it to the end. So Muniz has put TBNR cars in between he and Jeff. Coming to 21 to go. The yellow does come out in the late stages. I mean, everybody else, you gotta stay out, take a wave around. Even if that means all those cars... There we go! No worries. To the pit lane goes Muniz. With 21 laps to go. See if anybody else joins him. For the moment, Jeff will stay out. This looks like Muniz is going to be the first domino to fall. But how is this pack running compared to everybody else on the racetrack right now? No moves from our leader. Let's focus back here on Schrader. Squid looked like he thought about coming down, but chose not to. There are still some lap down cars that need to make another pit stop as well. Jeff on the outside of LW right here, not even going to be able to come down to the pit lane if he wanted to. Which is where this gets scary. Now, of course, Muniz was the first to go. I mean, did he want to pit that time? Does he have enough gas to make it around again? He's passing on the outside like pitting is not even a concern right now. Ken Schrader has pitted. That was another one. Jeff riding pretty low. Might be coming down this time. Him and Deegan. So inheriting the lead for the moment is Brayton Laster. He will move down to the pit lane, which means Squid, who last pitted on lap 174, retakes, or will retake, the top spot. What about TBNR cars, by the way? Last pitted on lap 173. Pit stop's coming for him. Squid and Smee will come this time. Which means hand it on over at the moment to Aiden as we found everybody else. So now we get the true race for the end of this thing here. Squid's still your leader for the moment. Squid and Smee, but they're in the pit lane. And this pack coming around pretty good. With 16 to go. Smee has left the pits, but pay no attention to that. As we cycle this back around, Caleb is not your leader. Is El Jefe? Come on, Ticker. I need to know what's going on. So I think Jeff does come out of the pits in the lead right now. But it's not going to last very long, because here comes everybody else. We might need to take a reset here at the end. It doesn't know what's going on anymore. Let's reset it, as we have 15 laps to go. Just so we can have a clue of what's actually going on. Computer didn't like that, but I need to know who's leading and who's not. Long time coming for El Jefe. He's up front with a chance here late. Ash is back inside the top 10. Austin, who doesn't even want to win, is up here late with a chance. And of course, the rookie Timo Quinton. We have rookies win back-to-back weeks, back-to-back races, we should clarify. Holding strong for now. Unfortunately for TB in our cars, he did have to pit. He falls a lap down again. I believe the first car 1 lap down. Pit cycle worked out all right for those two that were up front for so long. El Jefe and Muniz. Muniz just sitting in 5th right now. Not really much of anywhere to go. Only 2 laps remain if you want to use the debris yellow. Does anybody want to do that right now? I would say Ash does not. She's up here with a chance, but Evo, after he and Pat lost the draft, might consider it. Those lap down cars just immediately in front. Kinda don't want them to mix up with these leaders again. I mean, we've seen it time and time again. Half a lap remains for the debris yellow. If it's gonna come, it's gotta be called before Jeff crosses the line. And it will not be. 10 to go, and I'd assume we might stay green throughout all this as Aiden dives to the inside of Jeff. Made his NASCAR Chat Series debut last year in the Coca-Cola 600. Been in the series for a year now, has not been able to win a race just yet. Up here with a chance late at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Still plenty of time and plenty to fight for everybody else. Muniz is up into 2nd place. Muniz with a dive to the bottom. Led most of stage 3. Does he have the inside on the 5? No. Aiden holds the lead for now. Looked like Force was flirting with the wall. Possible another strong run for John Force. Inside lane moving pretty good. Outside lane, there's not a lot there. Well, now there is. Aiden's going to get a tow here off the back of the lap cars. It's going to certainly shake everything up. I don't know if that's better for everyone here in the back or not. Might be able to get a run, and if they catch the leader in a bad spot, you just never know. Aiden's going to try and move to the outside on him. Opening up the bottom like this is always scary, but the 5 will drop down in behind Haley Deegan. And now a lapped wall, or a wall of lapped cars separates your leader from anyone running him down. 6 to go. Make great time today, by the way. 2.5 hours. And we are just about done. But now, what's the best case scenario for anybody? Lap cars, leaders, all mixed in together. Ash putting on a run on the outside. In behind Marlin. I have a Red Wings listed as your leader. I don't think that's right. Did we have more ticker nonsense? Is he your leader? What's going on here? If he was, I was paying next to no attention to him. It hasn't reset itself, and I don't see anything else going on, so we might just be okay. 5 to the bottom with help from Muniz. 53 were blocked. All of this, all of the nonsense, I'll tell you what, Ash has got a chance here. New leader now is Sterling Marlin with 3 laps to go. Will Marlin come down? Not yet. Now he will. Open up the outside lane to the 46. Now the smartest thing for Ash to do is to hold true on that outside until you're able to get around Deegan. 2 to go. Red Wings will edge back in front. Ash drops back, might get a good run on Marlin this time. A lap and a half to go from Atlanta. Deegan is bumped up to the high side, slowing down that whole outer lane. And as we come to the white flag at Atlanta, Red Wings, but Aiden makes his move to the outside. 2 looking for their first ever NASCAR Chat Series wins, side by side down the back. Does Muniz have anything left? Shaping up for another good Atlanta finish. Aiden doesn't have a lot of help, and after his teammate won last week, Red Wings wins this week. First NASCAR Chat Series win coming in Atlanta. Joe Nemechek out of gas on the apron. And finally, for the 53, Red Wings is your race winner. And absolutely out of nowhere, I didn't even know he was running with the leaders. But alas, he was. Your top 10 Red Wings: Frankie Muniz, Aiden, Sterling Marlin, Timo Quinton, Austin in 6th, Ash. Top 10 in every stage and the race. Going to be a good points day regardless. Force, Gundy, and Jordo, last year's winner, rounding out the top 10. So this right here is, I mean, I guess why we didn't even know the 56 was even really going to be a factor here in this thing. Because he's sitting back, he's in mixed in with the lap cars. I didn't even realize that he was on the lead lap. I think down the back here, he makes a move to the outside. And then by turn 3 and 4, he's up there with Aiden. I mean, he pulls out, I mean, he's the first car behind Aiden. Just got a great run to even get to the outside in the first place. Carried that run all the way down the back here. And then just kept it high. Deegan did get in the way of the 5 as well. See, even in slow motion, just the difference of speed here. And the 53 just powers right on by everybody here. I mean, what a move, and I didn't even realize that it was happening. So, momentum kind of dies out here a little bit, and then by the time we exit the corner, and you got Muniz bouncing up. Did he make a move to the bottom here? Because you see the 5 slide up, And he actually got blocked again by Deegan. But anyway, I mean, we figured it out. I mean, that was the move for the win. Just an aggressive move to the outside where it had been hard to pass all day long. And then, oh, here it was. He dove to the bottom of the 5. So outside to the inside in consecutive corners. And that was your winning move, essentially. Now, he got challenged in the remaining few laps, but still really, really good to see the 53 car, newly renumbered 53 car, finally win a race. The Dylan Larkin curse is over. We've got a couple weeks off before we end our busy summer stretch. Late July, we'll be at Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the Brickyard 400. That race was interesting last year, but it was good to have a relatively incident-free Atlanta race. We hadn't had that happen yet. Very glad to see that was the case here today. I think we only had the 2 crashes, and then that time where like 5 cars ran out of gas, so there was that. But Red Wings is your winner for the first time in NASCAR Chat Series history. Another new winner on the year, and the second straight race in which one of those Red Wings cars has won it.